Have you ever heard of a killer who communicates in riddles and taunts their victims with cryptic messages? What if you were the one being hunted, and the only way to survive was to decipher a puzzle before time runs out? Tonight, we unravel the story of the Whispering Cipher, where every clue leads closer to death. In the quiet town of Brookhaven, whispers of a mysterious killer had started to circulate. Dubbed Cipher, this individual had claimed 3 victims, each murder accompanied by a coded message left at the scene. The town's residents, gripped by fear, relied on Detective Clara Hayes, a seasoned investigator with a knack for puzzles, to bring Cipher to justice. The killer's pattern was as chilling as it was intricate. Each message contained clues to the next victim's identity. Clara's obsession with solving the case deepened when Cipher addressed a note directly to her. "Detective Hayes, the game begins now. Solve this, or someone dies tonight." The note was accompanied by a riddle. "A house of stone, where silence is known. Beneath the clock, your time has flown." Clara's heart raced. She deciphered the riddle quickly: Brookhaven's old clock tower, abandoned for decades. With her team, she rushed to the location. They found a woman tied to a chair, her screams muffled by the tower's tolling bell. Clara saved her just in time, but the killer left no trace except for another cipher. The next weeks were a tense game of cat and mouse. Cipher's messages grew more personal, revealing details about Clara's past that no one should have known. Each clue pushed her closer to the edge, testing her intellect and resilience. One night, Clara received a message at her home. "This is where it ends, or begins again. Will you play, Clara?" The coordinates led her to Brookhaven's abandoned asylum, a place she hadn't visited since childhood. As a child, Clara's mother had worked there before mysteriously vanishing. Memories of that loss flooded back as she entered the decaying structure. Inside, the air was thick with unease. Each corridor was lined with cryptic symbols Cipher had spray-painted onto the walls, forcing Clara to solve puzzles to navigate further. Finally, she reached a locked room. On the door was the final riddle. "To save yourself, recall your past. What you've hidden will not last." Clara hesitated, but the memory surfaced: her mother's old key, which she had kept in a locket. She inserted the key into the lock. The door creaked open. Inside, Cipher stood waiting. The figure removed their mask, revealing a face Clara never expected: Dr. Raymond Cross, her mother's colleague at the asylum. He confessed that Clara's mother had discovered his unethical experiments on patients and threatened to expose him. To silence her, he'd murdered her, burying the truth for years. The killings, the riddles, all of it was his way of taunting Clara, pulling her closer to uncovering the truth while reveling in his power. But Raymond underestimated Clara's resolve. In a moment of fury and clarity, she overpowered him, restraining him until backup arrived. Raymond was arrested, and Brookhaven breathed a sigh of relief. But for Clara, the scars remained. The Whispering Cipher had forced her to confront her past, unraveling truths she never wanted to face. As she closed her mother's locket, Clara realized one chilling fact: even in silence, some whispers never truly fade. What would you do if solving a puzzle was the only way to save lives? Would you have the courage to face the darkest truths? Share your thoughts in the comments below.